Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Miss Kristine Berico, your student teacher for today.
Good afternoon, Miss.
Good afternoon.
Well, let's start our discussion for today. Anyone who knows Alessandra G. Gonzales? Anyone in the class? Yes, Miss Faith.
I think I already have read something about her, miss. She's the one who wrote the literary piece Breathe, am I right?
Correct, Miss Faith. Yes, Miss J.
Miss, I want to add something about Alessandra Gonzales. The first piece she wrote was titled Pagong, and I think it's also the first child play that won the Sarah C.S. Alabado Award for Literature in 1992.
That's also correct, Jade. Well, since your classmate Faith already said the literary piece Breath, anyone who already knows Breath, can you give me a quick summary? I think Miss Gonzales, your subject teacher in 21st century, gave you this task to read the literary piece. Anyone who did their homework? Yes, Andre.
It's a story about Catherine and Isaac, who's in a long-distance relationship. Isaac, who's currently studying in Austria, and Catherine, on the other hand, is in the Philippines. They exchange emails and snail mails to communicate with each other. While communicating through emails first was fine, not until weeks later the communication started to fade. Good thing Isaac decided to go to the Philippines. He met her family. They traveled to Tagaytay, and Isaac asked Catherine if she can go with him. Catherine, on the other hand, chose to be silent until his departure came.
That's impressive, Andre. You gave us a brief summary of Breath. Well, as you read and understand the Breath, what did you notice? Yes, Yniego.
Miss, I noticed that the way Breathe was written, in a way, wherein the emails were written in order to express the digital means.
Yes, Jade, you will add
Miss,
something.
I also noticed that our main character, Catherine, was written in a way that's kinda stereotyping wrong.
And last, how about you, Faith?
Ma'am, I also noticed that Catherine herself knows what's right and wrong.
Well, your answers are all correct. Let me elaborate more about what you all said. Inigo mentions the way it was written. That was called a formalist approach theory, where the author itself focuses more on how it was written and doesn't do the so-called fan services. While Jade mentioned stereotyping women can be put in feminist approach. It exposed the patriarchal views of author in women. And lastly, Faith said about Catherine's decision, well, that's called moral philosophical approach because Catherine knows what is right and wrong. Yes, Andre, do you want to add something?
Is gender discrimination not only in real world?
Sadly, yes. Some authors oppose women and they put their patriarchal views in the piece they wrote. Any clarifications for today's short review slash lesson? Anyone? I think the silence means no. Since you don't have a question, I'll be the one asking before we end our discussion. What's your interpretation about the three theories that I've mentioned? Yes, Faith, to be followed by Jade, and to be followed by Jade.
Miss, I also noticed that a literary piece can be something if we interpret it on our own. I thought at first it was really boring, but not until I found out the methodologies and approaches used.
I agree with Faith, Miss. Breathe with the help of those approaches made me appreciate the piece more.
Very good for the both of you. But since we don't have much time left, let's continue our discussion and our small review next week. See you,
Goodbye,
class!
miss.